Hi friends, it has been a while since I've been here, so I figured I'd hop on today and do like a real-time thing that I'm making. So I sell jewelry, as you can see, and one of the problems I run is like oftentimes people are like, what size is this? And I just thought like if I laser cut some little numbers like 5, 6, 7, 8, like the ring sizes, that would be very helpful. So I'm gonna go ahead and try that. I'll show you how I design my files for something like this, and we're just gonna try it. This may be a complete fail, but we're gonna try. Okay, so I normally don't use like the straight up text in here, but I think for this job it will be fine. So we'll just do, I don't think we're doing that kind of size. Let's just do like, actually we do have some threes. Let's do 3, let's do 4, 5. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Those are the common ring sizes. Okay, I'm doing this with one hand, so bear with me, but essentially I'm just gonna take this existing 4 and I'm gonna add a little like nub to the bottom of it. I'll show you how to combine that shape in a second. Let me just think about the size. Okay, we're just gonna go for it. This is maybe not always wise, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna select my shapes. Oh, whoops, I'm still doing that whole rectangle thing. So I went to the rectangle and then I made that little rectangle, and that's how I got that. Now we're gonna go to laser tools. Okay, now that we're in the selection tool, we are going to, and actually let me copy this one more time and leave one over here so that I still have it for later. Control copy. Okay, so we're gonna select our little number with a little nub at the bottom, and we're gonna go to arrange tools, and we are going to weld. That just means, as you can see from that image, that you're just gonna stick those together, and ta-da, there it is. I could be a lot more methodical about this. Like if that bothers you, you could definitely make that the same size, but for now we're just gonna go with this. So I'm gonna add that little nub to all my numbers, and then we will just shrink them to the right size and laser cut them. Okay, so I've been zooming by. I got to the 10, 11, 12, 13 and realized I need to connect these first. I guess I could leave them, but anyway, so I'm gonna add a rectangle across and then a nub. I added that little rectangle. We're gonna weld and then add one more little nub. Okay, looking good. Gonna address these guys, and then look, that one is not touching, so I'm gonna drag it down a teensy bit and weld it. Okay, I've kind of like put them all together, and then I'm going to shrink them to the right size. So I'm gonna think about how big this would have to be to fit into my ring tray, and then shrink them all to that size. So before I shrink, I'm gonna go ahead and lock my proportions so that they shrink all at the same rate. And I've memorized for millimeters, literally just like I know 21 is an inch, and I know I want these to be smaller, so I'm gonna go with like 16 millimeters, and let's press enter and see what happens. There we go, look how much that shrank. Okay, and I'm just gonna cut one and see what it looks like. So here's my acrylic, and I'm gonna cut down there. You can technically look at those numbers and kind of figure out where you are on your laser bed, because you also have those same numbers here. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the machine on and see if I'm in the right place. Okay, I'm trying to show you every step, because sometimes I find that in tutorials, what is actually helpful to me are just like little random things. So I'm gonna kind of guesstimate that we're here, and then I'm gonna trace and see if that aligns with that space. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here and select frame and see if my laser goes to the right space, and it definitely does. So I actually don't use a camera. I feel like it's not necessary. You can just kind of know where your laser bed is and go from there. Okay, so we're almost getting ready to cut here, so I'm gonna turn on my check that out, that's so bad. I usually use cardboard, but this is gonna be fast. So okay, here we are. I'm gonna now focus my laser head and come back. Move that down to the right height. You use a little focus tool to check the right height. And now I changed the settings because that was way too much power for what we're trying to do here. So I'm gonna select just one number. I've learned this the hard way. I used to laser cut the whole laser bed and then realized that it didn't work. Now I just do a test. So let's do one test and see what happens. Ooh, I like how it looks so far. Let's see how it turned out. Another tip is that I literally just stuck my fingernail in there and just tapped it to see if it cut through. and it didn't. So I'm really happy about this, because if you move the acrylic, let's say I pulled it out, you can never get it in the same place again. I mean, sometimes, but it's very rare. So I'm glad I didn't do that. Now I'm gonna cut the same exact cut settings. These are probably a little too weak, but I mean, we already did it once, so I'm gonna do it twice, and that should pop it out. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna check. Okay, check out how messy this is. I felt this kind of move, so I'm gonna try and pop it out and see if it did in fact cut through, and if it didn't, oh, I think it did cut through. With something so delicate, you really want to be careful, so I'm gonna put my phone down. Okay, you guys, it cut. It's so cute. Let's test it. I would have to peel it. Here, I guess I'll peel it just for the aesthetics. So here's my ring tray, and this is how I envision this working. I kind of just stuff it in there. And what do you guys think? I think it's so cute. It's gonna cast a shadow, but it's very discreet. I don't want it to be visually too, like, to take up too much space. I will say it worked, but these are so tiny and fragile. I'm not sure if I would do the same exact thing again. And now that I cut one, I could definitely add like a whole nother like 5 to 6 millimeters on the bottom of that. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Cut the rest of these and call it a day. So that's kind of my process. As you can see, there's a lot of iteration, testing things, seeing what works. Honestly, you know what? I'm not gonna cut it again because I just don't think I have it in me tonight. But I will say, technically this is a success. Practically, are these gonna break because they're so tiny? That is very much a possibility. So that's something to consider. But for me, I'm willing to risk it, and I think they're so cute.